in this video, which is part 46 of the Coinmarketcap Chart series for Chartjs, what we're going to do here is solving this item here. So you can see here, and if you've seen my previous video, that if we move on this white space here, where there's just a little bit of space, it somehow gives like a weird error. So what we're going to do is, and let me just zoom in a bit more better, we're going to solve these items here because we have a lot of bug hunting to do now. So now it doesn't show any tooltip, which is fine because that's what I want to have. Because here it shows the values, and if you are here, there is no value to show. So let's start to look how to do this. So now let's look at some of the items. Basically, we're done with the core. We have done all the designs and everything that we can imagine we want to put in there. What I do want to do here now is start to do a lot of what you can call bug hunting, or at least solving some of these issues that I'm not satisfied with. For example, here, if we move here, you can see that this part is a bit of a confusion here. And if I move this here, and we can go then afterwards here, that's fine. Although you can see here it is still a bit weird off, but that's alright. Maybe I will figure out eventually something for that. However, I don't want this one here where we have nothing. That doesn't make any sense to us. So the reason why this happens is because, as I mentioned earlier, with a bar chart, when the data starts here, or basically the bar chart requires a offset space. But a line chart doesn't have this, and this is creating a tiny conflict in our case. What we could do, of course, for example, we're going to just say we start at 25 instead of 24. That would be one of the options. But of course, what I want to do is just to be professional as possible, and just say if we're hovering here, then we show just nothing. That would just make far more sense. Same if we go to the other side here. If you're hovering here, we have this excess space, show no more our tooltip. So let's start to do that one. So I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to look at the tooltip, and let's look at where is that, the tooltip, custom tooltip. And basically what we want to do is we want to work with this area here, and more specifically the left here. What I want to do now is I want to make that flexible. I'm going to create another if statement. We have 1,000 if statements in our code right now, and I don't know if that's really the right way to do it. Of course, we can refactor that later on. However, doesn't matter for now. Right now it's just to make sure this works, and afterwards we can always fine tune. So what I want to do here is I want to put in a condition, and this condition will be based on our minimum item here, whatever would be the minimum item and the maximum item of our scale. So what I'm going to say here is, well, we have this if statement. I guess we can just remove that if we create too much confusion. And I'm going to say here if what exactly. So let's think. So we have here the scale, and we're going to say here if x dot min equals the date index 0. If that is the case, what I want to do is, let's say here the left, I'm going to call this the x left. Then x left will be the dates here, but then we'll say for x dot get pixel for value, and then whatever dates index number 0 is. So basically we're just going to grab that one. Else we're going to say x left equals left. Very straightforward, and I realize we need to make sure that this is a constant, a let value, because we are going to reassign it. So let this semicolon. So that's number one. So then once you understand this, we could also do for the right side. So we're going to say here x right. And this here, well, let's put that here, will be this. And then we can just copy this, and we're just going to do it fully in right. We say here it will be equal to right, semicolon here. It's a bit more neat. And then here x right equals here x right. And we say here the date should be the last one. So what we need to do here is, instead of x min, we say x max. And I'm going to say here this will be dates.length minus 1. So we get the full length of it minus 1 item, and that's it. So if this is the case, put that value in here, or sorry, like this. Alright, so once I have this, I need to double check this or double test this. Say here X right and X left. And for top and bottom, we don't need to do anything. So we're going to save that. Refresh. And now if I move here, you can see here as we move, there we are. Doesn't show anymore here. However, if I go in like that, let's go here, you can see this works fine, does it? I wonder. Let me zoom in a bit more. I should have here this, and alright, surprisingly enough, it doesn't calculate that one. Alright, so for that, probably it's automatically calculating. Does it matter in this case? I think it's alright. It's an acceptable issue here. Well, you can see here, it does cut away automatically this. So maybe this is fine, and then maybe what I can do here is just to reassign that. Instead of this, if I can just grab that one here, because this is probably readjusting itself, most likely. Is that on the dates itself? Anyway, I'm going to leave it as it is for now, and I will eventually see if we can fine tune it even further. However, right now we have this, but if you look at this, look, there's still some weird items. We have this 9.10, and then we are here. So most likely, I realize the issue is the value that we have here. The value is like this, and then there's no interpolation, or the interpolation is incorrectly done here for calculating this. I will cover that in the next video, because that's probably what we need to fine tune as well.